I think one analogy I think it's Dr. Glover talks about, like, as you're doing the work, like you're making your own like cake, and like, your cake is your cake, and it could be awesome by yourself, and then your relationship is like the icing on the cake. It makes it that much better and delicious and all that. But even without that, you still got your own cake. You're still complete and whole, and you've got enough for yourself. So you're filling your own cup. Like, yeah, you've got everything you need, and then you add the relationship on it, and then that's all just bonus.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the TPM Show. We are still at the TPM Ranch for the Legends event. And once again, I got two more legends for you. And today's topic is going to be about new relationships. So stick around. You'll have some tips and tricks if you are entering a new relationship. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate you guys be open about the subject. So how long have you two been in a new relationship?
Nice try.
You go first.
I've been in a relationship for about 3 months. I can't speak for Boggs.
For me, it's been since basically since the Alpha Rising, which was November. So that's about eight months now.
Yep. I was just giving you guys a hard time because we were joking offline. The topic, new relationships, two gentlemen sitting on the couch together. But I've already explained previously, so guys listening to this know we're having a good time. We're at an event. We're going to do some deep inner work, deep growth, and at the same time, having fun together. So new relationships are interesting for a lot of people, right? There's a lot of trepidation with coming into a new relationship. How do you guys approach it individually?
I didn't really think about it. I think it just came to me. I was dating and I met Gina and boom, just realized it was the second date. I said, wow, I'm going to stop talking to the other women I'm talking to. Just didn't feel right. And I just, so there was no, obviously I was looking for a relationship, but there was no conscious thought of, oh yeah, when I find the one or this and that, because I just wasn't finding the one. And then all of a sudden, oh, wow, this feels good. I think I have to pay attention. And I stopped talking to the other women, and it felt so good that, we just made it easy. Right? It made my decision very easy. I was like, okay,
Did you have a mental checklist? Because a lot of guys listening to this, right? So we have a couple camps of guys. Some guys are newly single. Some guys have been served divorce papers. Some guys are in relationships that just aren't working out really well.
Well, I have my wants list, and I have my do not want list, and the do not want list overrides anything else, right? So there's certain things I know that if they have that type of personality or a certain character trait, that it's just not going to work, and I know it's not for me. So in that, I think that's guided me. The not wants, the F no's were definitely the ones that are like, okay, but it became easy. And listen, even on the wants thing, right? Yeah. It's not every single thing. It's not I'm like checking off about, oh, she doesn't fit that. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to accept people as they are, right? I mean, I would want someone to accept me exactly as I am, or I know it's not going to work.
Sure.
Right? If I'm being authentic and you don't want to be with me, you want to change something about me, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it's because you're showing up as your authentic self.
Yeah.
Your true self.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's exactly what I've come to realize is that it's about just being yourself, and then by being yourself, you're either going to attract people who are attracted to you, or you're going to repel people. But at least you're going to have a reaction.
Yes.
Like that's who you are. And then, if they like you for you, then awesome. And if they don't, then that's fine too. But whereas I think before I was definitely much more trying to just be a people pleaser or be like kind of neutral. In which case, like, okay, I can get along with everybody, but that's not attractive, right? People be like, okay, he's a nice enough guy, but there's nothing there. I'm not going to attract or repel.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for a relationship, you want that attraction.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think for me, it was like, obviously working through the program and all of that. And then, I did have like you asked before about like red flags, green flags, like, sit down and think through like, what are those things? And then have that percolate kind of in the back of my mind as you're going out on dates and talking to people.
What was it for you? I know you said coming out of the Alpha Rising, which is our kind of our second year transformational experience. So we don't talk about it much on the show. So we have the Alpha Reset, which guys have heard about a little bit, and then the Alpha Rising. What was it about coming out of the Alpha Rising that you're like, okay, now I'm ready?
Yeah, because I had gotten divorced. I guess it's been now 4.5 years, 4 years plus now. since I separated. And so yeah, I've got a lot of time to think and, have perspective on like what's really important, and, who do I want in my life? And, after a lot of reflection, it was just very clear. I was like, oh, it's Kate. And so actually I was here at the ranch and had a call with her, I remember, on November 9th. And that's sort of where it all, kicked off. So I mean, I'd known her for quite a number of years. But just as friends, or as a, sort of professional, as a coach. And then, yeah, it just was like obvious right there after the reflection.
And I've spoken to Kate, as you know, obviously. And I remember what she said to me. She could tell as soon as she heard your voice, right? We talk about energy being everything. You're wearing a shirt, energy is everything, I think is what it said when we were doing horseback riding. But
I was using all my energy to keep that horse to go straight.
Yeah, those guys weren't exactly great listeners. And this idea, energy is everything. You came out of a transformational experience and you're like, boom, okay, I know what I want. And she could feel that energy and that transference in you, even though you guys have known each other for a while.
Yeah, and for sure, that's also something for me. Like, yeah, I'd never believed in all this like energy and aura and all this like woo woo bullshit.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
And I was like, what is that like? But no, it is real, and there is something to it. But until you experience it, like I don't believe it, but yeah, now I definitely have it. Yeah, definitely through the programs, through the reset and the rising. Like that's what's been a big change for me. Is like that embodiment.
Yeah,
so you can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, talk to all the people, but for you to truly sort of take it on and like really internalize it and integrate it and feel it is a totally different thing.
Completely different.
Yeah. It's funny hearing him mention energy and bring that in. One, I'm kind of like, woo-woo, what are you talking about? But the second date that I went on with Gina, I dropped her off to her house, and I was driving home, and I was just like, I felt this energetic connection. She was still with me, and I was like, oh, it's this really strange feeling. I'm like, huh. And got home, felt it through the entire night. And I started going through this thing. I was like, wow. I'm like, this is intense. I was like, huh. I woke up in the morning. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to screw this up. It was crazy. I mean, I can't explain it, but it was, I think I rolled over the middle of the night and was like, hey, like I was talking to myself, but I thought I was talking to her. It was just like, whoa, all right. Got the message.
Yeah. Well, you're very open and receptive. I mean, one of the things I really enjoy about you, there's many things about both you guys I really enjoy, but is how open and receptive you are to new things, quote woo-woo things, right? Well, it's a little bit of a juxtaposition for you. Like if on paper, you're a big guy, you're a New Yorker, and you own a construction business, and you wear an energy is everything shirt, right? But that's a testimony to you that you're willing to be receptive. Like, okay, I got this sign. This is what I'm feeling, or what I'm receiving, or whatever you want to say about it.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm attuned to.
Yeah. And I was not expecting it. I mean, listen, I had a great time with her.
Yeah.
The first time I went out there, I had a great time. Second time it was amazing. But I wasn't expecting to feel that. I was just like, whoa. Just so intense. I said, all right.
Yeah, I think when you tune into the frequency, we talk about the frequency things, not to get into vibrations as much, but we can, and the frequencies. But when we go through a program, we're bettering ourselves, our frequency or vibration changes. And the women are attuned to it, right? They're just naturally attuned for survival reasons more than anything. They're attuned to it. And so when you up level or you go through an experience like the Rising or the Alpha Reset or whatever, both of you guys been through both of those events, the people in our lives, we change that frequency. It's kind of, I always ask this question, the guys listening to this and not watching this, but we're in a room right now. I always say to guys, what music's available in this room right now? And they look at me like you guys are looking at me now. But hip hop's available, jazz is available. All you have to do is turn a thing called a radio to the right frequency. Those waves are in here now. And that's similar to what women are attuned to, is what's our frequency. Every time we have a woman come into the show, give a woman's point of view, that's what they talk about all the time. Oh, I can feel the man before he walks in the door. I can feel him on the phone, feel the tech with the, And so for men, you guys, you've either gone to the frequency of Gina or you to Kate or vice versa. You're both turned your radios to the frequency that works for you guys.
Sure.
And then you found each other.
Yeah. And when you raise your consciousness, you align with people of that same frequency or higher. Generally, it's the frequency or above, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in this case, obviously, I'm the higher frequency, but
naturally.
But these synchronicities that start popping up are really cool. I'm sure you've experienced that too in your relationship, right? You can think about her like, hey, I was just going to call, and then boom, she calls, and just those things that's just alignment, you know? And it's really cool to watch that unravel, you know?
Well, and everybody wants to be the power couple, right? Everybody wants it. And so I'll call it my marriage one. So I'm still married to the same woman, but it's almost like we had two different marriages. Marriage one, we looked like the power couple on the outside or going to become the power couple, but it was so disappointing. We couldn't quite get the right frequency or whatever it was. We loved each other, but couldn't match. And like in what I'll call marriage two of ours, and it's not like we got remarried, but it's almost like two separate relationships happen between us. It's just that we feel attuned. I'll think about her. All of a sudden, I'll look at my phone. There's a text message, bing, pops up, or vice versa. And it seems like one of those really bad rom-coms, that you look at like, this shit doesn't happen, man. But it does.
How much do you attribute that to dropping into your heart space?
Everything.
It's the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I think it's not everything, but most of it. Yeah. I think it's dropping into my heart space. It's also being in alignment, right? But you can't be in alignment if you're not in your heart space. And caring and being on the same page. I'm very blessed that my wife does the work, right? I know Kate does. I think Gina does. And in doing that, I'm trying to better myself. For myself first and foremost, then secondarily for my family, third for the world.
Yeah.
My wife's doing the same thing. So we're both on mission for what we're trying to do in the world. And you guys both are aligned with that, and your partners are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what's been nice about having someone who's on obviously their own journey, and I'm on my own journey, but we're also on our own journeys together.
Yeah.
And so actually she was mentioned like looking at my bookcase, and she's like, this is not the the normal bookcase of a 48-year-old man.
Yeah.
I have a lot of self-help books and that kind of stuff, and that's
beautiful bookcase.
Yeah, but that's what I'm into, and it's great that she's super supportive of that.
So I have a question for you. Starting up a new relationships. I mean, obviously you coach thousands of men. With the retreats and trips being frequent and whatever, what is, I don't know, I want to say the best way to handle that, but there's going to be a point where they're going to say, well, wait a minute, you're going away a lot kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And I get it. Gina supports what I'm doing. She fully supports it, right? At some point, she's probably like, well, you're going away again? So what do you think, how do you would want to handle that kind of situation? Or, what's the best tactic with that? Just say, hey, look, this is something for me. I need to do this. And, or not do every single one of them. I mean, that's always an option, but that doesn't really align with me so well.
Well, so I think that's a key point right there. And I'll share transparently. Last year, I did so many alpha resets, and some of the coaches had to drop out for whatever reasons. I wasn't supposed to lead all the brotherhood events. I ended up leading all of them, right? And the inner circle event, right? So previously. And that's when my wife said, hey, this is too much.
Right.
But her reason for it being too much was we have young kids. Sure. 5 years. So she's like, I'm solo parenting and you're gone for almost more weeks than you're here. And so we sat down and we had a conflict. Okay, what's reasonable? Conversely, she loves that I'm here with you guys right now, right? Because she goes, look, you come back filled up. This is your mission. And so what I do here, Andrew, is we talk about what events are coming up. There's certain ones where I'm going to this one. Like this is happening because this is what I'm here for. And there's other ones where I'm looking at it, or not that. When I come to this event as an example, I set her up for success. So, okay, she's solo parenting. Dave's got young kids too, about the same age. And there's certain things that just make that house run smoother, right? Okay, pick up. Okay, what food needs to be in there? I just set her up so it's a little less stressful. And then I'm also, something I found out that's really important to my wife is that I communicate with her while I'm on the trip. right? Because a lot of times we have a lot of fun on these trips, right? There's a ton of personal growth, but we also have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And people only see the pictures of the fun parts.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And it's all fun, but I mean, they see us going out to extravagant dinners or, zip line, or today horseback riding through the mountains. And that looks amazing. What they don't see is the deep inner work that we're doing and bettering ourselves and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Type 2 fun.
Yeah, type 2 fun. So I share that. When I share that, she gets it. And then there's one more piece to this that I think is incredibly important. I also make plans to do things with her, right? And last year, I didn't do it as well as I had previously. And I think that brought some of the conflict, is because I think she felt left out. Like, oh, you're planning all these amazing trips. You're going all these great places. You do all this time planning these events for these guys. What about me? I think it was really what it was. And so when I started planning things, like I took her after Germany and Prague, which was so much fun, I flew my family into Germany and we went through Austria.
Yeah.
And I planned the whole thing. Like, she didn't even know what was going on, where we were staying, which is unlike her. And she loved it.
Yeah.
So inclusive.
Yeah. I like the thing about, when you do come home, they're going to see that different, because we just filled our cups. We're going to go back with a whole new energy and revived. And they're probably like, yeah, you got to do that more often.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think it's also good, though, for them as well. So like one analogy I heard recently, which I hadn't heard before, was like the tale of like the mermaid and the lad, where it's like, you live in two different worlds.
Oh, yeah.
And you need, the mermaid's obviously more comfortable in the water, but she can't come to the surface. The lad, more comfortable in the surface, but can go in the water. And
hey guys, I just want to share something with you. I'm sure we can both agree that in order to fix something, you need to know what's broken. And not only need to know what's broken, but a step-by-step methodology on how you can fix it. That's the easiest way to do it, right? Otherwise, you're going to be toiling with things. That's why I created a free training, a training that not only shows you how you got to where you are, where your relationship is missing that love, respect, admiration, and even intimacy that it used to have, to how you get it back. How do you retain that where your wife's looking at you the same way she used to look at you when she said, I do? I don't know about you, but for me, when my wife looks at me like I'm her man, that I feel like I can conquer the world. And I want that for you. Simply go over to thepowerfulman.com/scales. That's thepowerfulman.com/scales. And I have a free video training for you. You can just click play and see if this resonates for you. Now back to the podcast.
you need to have your own time apart in your own worlds. And then when you do come together, it's magical.
Yes,
but
sure.
There's a finite amount of time that you can be together. Otherwise, you're both gonna, the other side is gonna suffer. So you need to have that time together and apart.
Well, which is, you have somewhat of a long distance relationship too. So I guess you're getting that regularly, right?
Yeah,
Which is challenging, but probably awesome at the same time. It's rewarding.
Exactly. And then also say, I have kids half the time. So juggling all of that is difficult. And it's just trying to, make the most of all the opportunities. And then being very intentional. That's actually one of the things I really love about Kate, that she's extremely, super busy, but when she's with you, it's 100% focus. And so, her time is limited, but when she's with you, it's 100%. She's not, doing, 5 things at once. And so I've learned, from her that, it's like, okay, if I'm with the kids, 100% with the kids. If I'm with her, 100% with her. By myself, focus on me and not trying to do too many things at one time.
I love that, Dave. You're talking about in coaching so many guys, codependency. I see that all the time. And what it looks like, though, it doesn't look codependent. It looks like fear, right? The guy's afraid to go do what he wants or go to the event because he's worried about the backlash. So he sits down on the couch and turns on Netflix. She's afraid to go or doesn't know what she wants to do. So she sits down on the couch and they watch Netflix. And again, there's nothing wrong with watching Netflix and movies. I watch them all the time. But it's that, let's just sit on the couch and watch another movie because we're both unfulfilled.
Right.
And a lot of marriages get caught in that cycle where people aren't willing to go out and do what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's back to what we started talking about. It's like being your authentic self.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, like, I really want to do this thing, and, like I said, be ready for that backlash and have that, like, okay, I hear you, like, you don't like this or that, and, you know, you can go back and forth versus like just shutting it down and say, okay, let's just do the simple thing, not talk about it. You know, no one's going to complain if we watch whatever show's on, like that, something we can both agree on,
Yeah.
but it's not really what you both want.
Sure. Yeah, and presence is such a powerful thing when you're truly there and you're not ever picking up your cell phone, looking at who texted you or what's going on. It's just, you know, it's amazing. It makes them feel whole, and even your kids, like you mentioned, the kids, just putting full energy into the kids, not doing anything else. It's just it. I've been working on the presence thing for a long time, and I shouldn't say working because I do it very well.
Yeah, you do.
I will not even having a conversation. I don't pick up my phone or look at it. Right? I just say, you know, I find it very disrespectful.
Yeah.
I don't like when other people do it. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think to both your points, and come back to you, Dave, as well. It's I think one of the key things men can do, especially in new relationships, but even old ones, right? How can we make this work? Not can I do this, or you know, if you get pushback.
Yeah.
I hear this all the time from guys that enter the program. A lot of guys don't tell their partner that they join TPM, right? Because they're scared of the backlash. Where guys that are successful might say, hey, I want to join this program. This is the investment. And the wife's natural reaction is almost always no, right? Because she's scared that they're not in a good place or whatever happens. And then what I found in my relationship is, okay, I'd really like to join this. How can we make it work? My wife's masterful at this with me, by the way. She is so good. How can we make this happen? All right.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, okay, oh, you know what I could do? I could go to Prague. I can fly you guys out to Austria to meet me, and we can do our family vacation on the tail end. Does that work? And then, cool, we found a win for everybody.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to Justin a couple of days ago about something, and he brought up, he said, you know, totally unrelated. He said about my issues of coming here just with work and everything else going on. He says, you know, he goes, think about the rocking chair test. How would you feel later on? I was like, huh. And you relate that to this. I mean, I'm thinking about Napa Valley in November, right? And Gina's birthday happens to fall right in that time frame. And I said, you know what? I think I'm just going to take her out for that. And maybe I'll fly out for the IC part of it. Because if I look back later on, and believe me, I'm going to hate not being there.
Yeah.
But if I look back later on, I'm going to say, wow, I missed her birthday and I really should have been there, you know? And you have to just weigh what it feels like to you. And I wouldn't feel right.
Do it all.
Leaving, you know. I wish I could do it all. I'd fly her out there, but I don't know how much time I'd be able to spend with her. So, you know.
Man, that's just it, right? It's whether it's a new relationship, like you guys are in a transition. I think a lot of guys listening to this, what I want to add to that, well, I guess let me ask you. I hear this conversation so much that I feel like I know what it is. Do you feel like the man that you are today is better suited? I want to say this by being very respectful of your exes.
I know where this is going.
The man you are today is better suited to find a more ideal woman for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I think about this a lot. Like, I have no regrets or ill feelings about my past relationship. Like, that was where I was at the time and where she was at the time, and you know, we fit at that time where I was. And yes, but so where I'm at now, like, yeah, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But that wasn't me back then, and she's also not the same person she was then either. So that's the difficult thing with relationships is like you meet, and obviously there's some connection because you kick off.
Yeah.
And then as you grow, you know, individually, are you still able to grow together as a couple as well? Because you need to, you know, it's three things in the relationship. Like, you know, it's each of you plus the relationship is its own entity of itself. So
Yeah.
For me, the person I was then in my last relationship, I know I would not have attracted Gina into my life. I just was the way I was showing up. It just wouldn't have happened. Now, yeah, previously 20 years before that, maybe, but in that period of time, no. And had I been showing up the right way, he might not have been the right timing for her because she had to go through her journey too, right? So it worked out, you know.
Well, that's the thing. I'm the same with Kate.
Timing is everything. So yeah, Kate, you know, we've known each other for a while, and actually, so as we were, you know, talking with each other, I did, you know, most of the time we were talking on the phone, and then I did meet her twice in person. She lives up in New York, and so it was one time I was driving to see a friend up in Canada, so I was driving past her area, so I was like, hey, I'll be coming through, like maybe we could grab a bite to eat. And so if we met in person, and you know, I was kind of laying out some feelers to see sort of if, you know, is there anything out there? And yeah, at that time, you know, it just, you know, there was some chemistry, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, she was going through her stuff. I was still going through my stuff. And then we met again, maybe like 6 months or a year after that. And that time also was, it was not a good meeting in terms of the outcome, because she was, I think, you know, in a different space, and she was super excited about where she was because she had just moved back to New York, and she was like, oh, New York is great. And like, would you ever move to New York? And I was like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
New York is not for me, because this is a discussion I had with my ex before, because she was all about going back to New York. And so that was like one of the few times I was very clear about what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, I guess this is not going to happen, because, you know, and then, you know, then again, once we've come to a different place and we're at the, you know, it's all timing.
It is a lot of timing. It's also, you know, imagine what would happen if you weren't doing the work, right? Even if you have the quote right timing, you would have missed each other. That's what's always interesting to me. Like if I ever become single, right? Well, this is not very fair, because I always have been doing work, and I always will. But that's like the sure way of you're raising your stock. You're raising your personal value on the marketplace of the world. Your stock is just going up, and you're going to attract better and better people into your life. Romantic relationships, friendships, bonds, they're only going to get better the more you do the work.
Yeah, I think one analogy I think it's Dr. Glover talks about, like, you know, as you're doing the work, like you're making your own like cake, and like, you know, your cake is your cake, and it could be awesome by yourself, and then your relationship is like the icing on the cake. It makes it, you know, that much better and delicious and all that. But even without that, you still got your own cake. You're still complete and whole, and you've got enough for yourself. So you're filling your own cup. Like, yeah, you've got everything you need, and then you add the relationship on it, and then that's all just bonus.
Yeah. Reminds me of that analogy. Oh, you want your cake and eat it too. Like, who doesn't,
Yes, yeah,
man?
exactly.
First of all, I don't want cake to look at it.
Right. I was going to say it. It was like, yeah, my position, that's not going to sound very well.
Well, awesome, guys. So any parting advice you'd give for a guy that's might be going through a transitional relationship, find themselves single, what would you like to say to your former selves, if you would, or to somebody else?
I would say pour into yourself. Just do the work for yourself. Don't do it for any other person, because a lot of people get caught up in trying to do it for someone else, and it's the wrong reason. It's all about within you, you know? Every change you need to make should be a change that you want to make, not for somebody else, not what they want for you. It's what you want, your unique journey. We all have a unique journey. My vision will never look like your vision, right?
Yep.
It's just not. I mean, as much as we might want the same similar things, it's going to be totally different. So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, no, same thing. Yeah, it's just focus on yourself, and like, especially with the apps or things these days, it's not about like trying to find the best picture of you, or you know what's going to be attractive. It's like, just find the stuff that captures who you are, right? Like, you know, if you are a guy who likes to hunt and fish whenever, then like, cool, that's you. But if it's not you, then don't put that out there just to attract whatever. Because like, you want to attract, like we talked about before, you want someone who's going to attract to who's the real you.
Yes.
So it's just like, find out, you know, who are you really, and then put that out there and see what happens. Because that's otherwise, you know, I spend a lot of time, you know, it's like, you know, swiping and looking versus attracting. Like, if you just put it out there, and then, you know, what was attracted to you will find you.
That's a good point too, because a lot of people may not even know who they are anymore.
Boom.
you know?
Yep, 100%.
I was
They're
going to
just so far, you know, so far lost in trying to be someone for somebody else that they don't know what they even like anymore, right?
Yeah, also
90% of the men that go through the alpha reset, right? Yeah. Or guys that think they know, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I've been lying to myself, right?
Yeah,
because society puts so much crap on us.
Yeah, it's a lot of, it's all marketing, right? So everyone's like, oh, be this guy, be the Iron Man, be the this, that, whatever it is, versus doing the inner work and trying to figure out
Being
like,
real.
Yeah, being real. Like, okay, I like to do whatever is bowling. I don't know, whatever your thing is, but like, versus whatever's the cool hip thing
to do.
To do. Yeah,
I agree, because you want to surround yourself. It's like us here. You want to surround yourself around people who like doing the same things, like you for you, because otherwise you bait and switch, right? And all of a sudden they're like, I hear this all the time too, where women feel like they've been bait and switched. It's been a bait and switch. You know, you were one way, and then we got married, and now you're just totally different. And when you're you can just authentically be you anywhere. Well, I thank you guys both for doing the work, continuing to do the work, and and being legends, passing it down to other men that are coming before you or coming after you, excuse me, and just making sure that everybody's on the right path. You guys both exemplify that. And here we are on day one, guys. So lots more fun to be had.
Yeah, and I was gonna say thanks a lot to you, Doug, and to all the guys at TPM. I mean, I don't know how you how you do it with so much energy, like just constantly. I know you've been doing all these podcasts and everything else. I mean, I had to take a nap earlier today, so I'm but no. So I really appreciate all that you and the rest of the guys at TPM have done and still do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Always.
I love being in this room with you.
Likewise. Likewise. Well, gentlemen, as always say, in the moment of insight, take massive action. And whether you find yourself, recently single, but maybe you're married, right? And you could take these same tips, guys, and apply them to maybe it's your marriage 2.0. Like I've shared with you openly about my marriage. Like my wife and I loved each other. We just couldn't find ourselves to each other. It was the weirdest thing. And marriage 2.0 is because both of us did the work. And it started with me doing the work, right? I had to go out and find the resources and do the work and put myself out there for us to come back together. That's what leadership is. Not waiting for her, but actually taking the first steps. So take that first step, whatever it is for you. Be your authentic self to what these gentlemen both said, and you're going to find the right place to land. We'll see you next time on the TPM show.